Good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Sam Lane here with the latest on the severe weather situation that we have developing up in northwestern parts of Bourbon County. Getting very concerned now as this storm is developing a rotation that's in strengthening a little bit. So no tornado warning as of yet, and hopefully it will stay that way. But looking at the velocities, it's getting concerning now for the folks there south of the community of Xenia and to the west of Berlin there in northwestern Bourbon County to the north and east of Bronson. So if you live in that northwestern corner of Bourbon County, just be aware that a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for you until 11 o'clock, but that we're very concerned because we're watching the velocities and the velocities are increasing. So wouldn't be surprised to see a brief spin up or maybe some wind damage associated with that severe thunderstorm. And of course, we're watching other cells back to the south and west developing across our area as well. So it's going to be a long night. We're under severe thunderstorm warning until 3 a.m. And of course, I'm here alongside Sam Patterson, keeping an eye on the weather situation. And then Chris Warner may be joining us here a little bit later to keep an eye on things. Sam, what do you have over there on the social media? Anything as of yet?
Nothing at the moment. Waiting for National Weather Service in Springfield to possibly issue some sort of update on that. Nothing as of now. The only thing was 15 minutes ago. Again, we had that severe thunderstorm warning affecting Uniontown, Redfield, Mapleton, and Kansas. That is going to last for another 10 minutes till about 11 p.m. Central Time.
Right, and the area of concern is basically north of Highway 54, US 54, there in Bourbon County, to the south of Timber Hill. So if you live in that area, just be aware of some very gusty winds, potentially damaging with that particular storm there in Bourbon County. And again, that warning goes until 11 o'clock at night. Do we have anything on the chat, Sam?
Let me check real quick. Langland, Missouri, McDonald County, I don't think there's...
Okay, folks are asking for questions. Okay, we're expecting the squall line to develop as we go into the late night and early morning hours, so McDonald County won't be impacted until probably around 2 a.m. or so. In Lansing, Missouri, again, we're expecting it to be a little bit later tonight down that way, so it'll be in the early morning hours, just rumbles of thunder. We're not really expecting a big severe weather outbreak, but we're just continuing to monitor it very closely. Again, the major threat from these storms is the very frequent lightning. We've seen lightning strikes, very high count of lightning, of course, very heavy rainfall, which is beneficial because we're in a drought, and large hail, and the potential for gusty and potentially damaging winds. But again, the major concern that we have is there in northwestern Bourbon County, watching this circulation north of Highway 54, east of Kansas Highway 3, south and west of Timber Hill, moving towards the east, towards Highway 7, there in Bourbon County. So, anybody else? Let's see.
Jasper County, same story.
Yeah, Joplin. It won't be in the Joplin area until probably around 1 a.m. is what we're thinking at this point. The storms are still organizing and developing into a line or a complex, and then that whole complex will eventually advance southward as we go into the early morning hours. We've had reports of hail earlier with these storms up in Vernon County, as well as over there in Lynn County as well, and over in the Rich Hill area and Amsterdam earlier. But right now we haven't had any reports of hail lately. And yes, there is a low tornado threat, but we're watching it very, very closely. And you're welcome, Busy Mom. We appreciate that. And just keep advised, and we'll stay with us, or stay with us, and we'll keep you advised. And we're going to keep an eye on the radar. And if anything does change, we'll be sure to let you know immediately.
And National Weather Springfield did just reissue a severe thunderstorm warning on that storm for Bourbon County. The threats right now, 70-mile-per-hour gusts, half-dollar-sized hail, and that's going to last till 11:30. So we've extended it and increased the severity of the severe thunderstorm warning for Bourbon County.
And it does look like that new warning now does include the community of Fort Scott as well as Uniontown. So if you live there in Freedom, Fort Scott, and Uniontown, you are now under the warning until 11:30. Again, severe thunderstorm warning on that storm, But again, we're watching the velocities very closely, as that is the strongest storm in our area right now, and it did have a little bit of a rotation with it, but it's not a very tight rotation at this point, and hopefully it will stay that way and just stay weak rotation, but just some gusty winds, heavy rain, frequent lightning, and potentially some large hail. In fact, speaking of large hail, let's take a look and see if we can look at the differential reflectivity here and see what we can find out with that. And I'm going to move this over here a little bit. We're going to chuck around a little bit, and let's go over and let's take a look at the differential reflectivity. Yeah, just north of Uniontown, there appears to be maybe a little bit of hail possible there with that particular part of the storm north of Uniontown and north of Highway 54, east of Kansas Highway 3, there in northwestern Bourbon County. That appears to be the area of most concern as far as hail goes. But as I mentioned, we've been more concerned about the circulation, weak circulation in that particular area, looking at the storm relative velocities on the radar. Sam, anything on Twitter?
Still nothing, just from National Weather Springfield 2 minutes ago, of course, re-updating and reissuing that severe thunderstorm warning for Bourbon County. And that will continue on its southeastern move. Let me check what kind of speed we are moving there.
These storms are not really moving all that quickly. And so another concern that we're going to be looking at later on is the extremely heavy rain can lead to some flash flooding. But because it's been so dry for so long, there's the ground is likely going to soak up a lot of this, but there is that concern, especially the storms that move over the same areas over and over and over again, which is the potential tonight. And we've already seen that up in
Mountain City over to Garnett area.
That's right, over in the
upwards
mountains.
of 3 inches of rainfall already recorded up there.
Yeah, over 3 inches recorded by radar earlier with those storms up there in Anderson County. So training is a concern, and that could lead to some flash flooding. And it's been raining quite a bit there in Woodson County for the last hour or so. Again, the storms are not really moving all that quickly.
15 miles an hour.
Yeah, 15 miles per hour. So lots of heavy rain. But again, this is a very beneficial thing. But as we go over the next several days, we're going to have multiple rounds of these storms. And so the flash flooding threat is going to be increasing over the next few days. But again, we have been in a drought for a long time, so this is actually kind of a good thing. We just don't need all that rain all at once. And hopefully it'll kind of space itself out. But tonight, the primary concern up to the north, or it has been to the north, with the heavy rain and, of course, the frequent lightning and potentially some damaging winds. Okay, that's going to do it for now, but it is now 11 o'clock, so we'll probably do another Ustream at about 11:15, unless conditions warrant. Okay, let's go back to the comments and see what... someone's asking about tornadoes. Tornadoes are possible, but the risk level is very low. We're not really concerned about the threat of large amounts of tornadoes, or even there might be one isolated spin up or two, but that's not a real big concern tonight, thank goodness. The wind profile is not very conducive for that tonight, thank goodness. Let's see, what else we got? Hutchinson. We'd have to go wider out to look at what's going on over near Hutchinson, which is north and west of, they are in the clear right now. We're not really expecting anything for Hutchinson, Kansas. Thanks for watching us there. Can you go back to the comments real quick? If I haven't called out your town, it's really not a concern at this point. We're just kind of giving a roundabout figure as far as the timeline. We're still waiting for this entire complex to kind of congeal together. And when it does, we'll have a better idea of the timeline of when the squall line is going to roll to the south and east. But right now, we're looking for the Joplin metro area at about 1 to 2 a.m. And then, of course, for folks further south of the Joplin metro area, it would be later in the morning, like 2 to 4 a.m. The severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 3 a.m. So that kind of gives you an idea of where we expect, or how long we expect the storms to be impacting our area. But right now, the only warning that is in our area is for Bourbon County, and that goes until 11:30, and that does include the communities of Fort Scott and Uniontown and Freedom. But again, the strongest part of the storm is near or just north of Uniontown right now in northwestern Bourbon County. Was that a new warning for, okay, now we have a new warning, I believe, for northeastern Neosho County.
Yep.
Okay, so now we have a new severe thunderstorm warning further to the west.
This one's 60 mile per hour wind gust, quarter-sized hail, and is moving at only 10 miles per hour. So once again, on top of the wind and hail threat, we're going to get possibly lots of rain. See if I can pull that up.
Yeah,
how much rain
pull
we're
up
getting.
the rain accumulations there in Woodson County over the last few hours. So that's going to include southeastern Woodson County and northeastern Wilson County, and that goes until midnight. And so I think you can see that on the velocities. I've got the velocity product up right now. And with that, we're not really seeing any rotation or any strong winds with that particular storm right now. So let's go back to reflectivity. We're going to drop this back down to 10. Here, there we go. Let's throw on the different color table here.
And with the severe thunderstorm warning that they just issued for south of Yates Center down towards, I believe, what is that?
Well, Webster.
Montgomery and Wilson counties, it is calling for torrential rainfall is occurring with the storm and may lead to flash flooding. So as we've been saying, slow-moving storms dropping lots of rain, definitely need to be prepared for possible flooding issues coming into our area,
Yeah, if
especially
you
with
live in a-
as dry as we've been.
Exactly. If you live in a low-lying area that frequently floods, then those are the people that really need to be concerned about that. Because, you know, it has been dry for so long, the ground is very hard, and a lot of that is just running off extremely quickly. Some of these storms are putting down about 3 inches of rain per hour. So they can really put down a lot of water very, very quickly. The precipitable water values are over 2 inches, and basically that's a fancy term of saying how much water vapor is in the atmosphere. And for this time of year to have precipitable water values over 2 inches, you're getting close to record territory. So that just kind of goes to show you how much fuel these storms have to work with. So again, severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Woodson and northeastern Wilson County until midnight. Let's go back to the chat and see if we have any more questions or concerns. And I guess we have to scroll up a little bit to get the comments as they come in.
About everybody.
Oh, okay, is that or is it down at the bottom?
That was the newest one.
What about Nevada? Nevada right now is looking like things are calming down just a little bit,
about to ramp
but
right
the
back
storm
up.
is moving towards Nevada. In fact, let's zoom back out on weather 1 here, and I'll show you. We'll kind of move around here a little bit. So you can see there's Nevada. So this storm over in Bourbon County is slowly moving towards the east. So folks in Nevada, you're still going to be impacted by that storm probably in about another hour or so. But it's raining there now and will continue to rain. So again, Vernon County, Bourbon County, and then on over towards Woodson and Allen counties. Those counties are going to be experiencing the brunt of these storms for the next hour or so. Then we'll start to see more progression to the south, closer to the metro area. And of course, then as it does so, then we get the heavy rain and storm activity getting closer to Joplin. But right now, also a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for eastern Butler County as well. So we'll continue to keep you advised. I'm meteorologist Sam Lane here alongside student meteorologist Sam Patterson.